Chelsea is being electronically tortured. Her perpetrators are Dr. Mitchell E. Gibson and Kathy Gibson of the Tybro spirituality business. Chelsea stopped participating in their organization when she realized serious crimes were being committed. She exposed fraud, brainwashing, sex trafficking, pedophilia, and electronic rapes. They have been retaliating harshly against her for years. Chelsea exposed them for fraudulently using spirituality as a cover to hack devices, use neuroweapons, transmit voices, transmit dreams, and stream members being electronically raped on the dark web.
This video is to document some of the electronic rape that I experienced over the weekend on February the 8th. I can't remember the exact time. It's on my Apple Watch. It caught it pretty good. I think it was around like 1 between 12 and 3 in the morning. Now what happened, it was quite horrific. What happened is I was laying down, kind of falling in and out of sleep. And as I was trying to fall back into sleep, I felt my rectum be shocked in horrific ways that you can't even imagine. It felt like somebody took like a cord, an extension cord, and ripped it in half and stuck it into my anus and was tasing me with it. And I could feel it shoot all the way from my rectum all the way out my ears. And it happened to me twice. It was so bad. My heart had a hard time recovering from it. My heart rate variability dropped all the way down to like 9 or 10, which is really shows that your body's in a lot of stress. If you look it up, it can actually indicate that you're having extreme nerve pain. The pain was atrocious. It happened to me twice. And then in the morning, as I woke up, they were forcing me to have an orgasm. And then they were also electrocuting me at the same time. And this was due to my page starting to get more views. Her saying that there's jealousy. Her daughter's jealous. Her kids are in jealousy. She's jealous. They're like, we don't want you to be a top trender. You were never supposed to outdo our company. Nobody knew we were using a filter. Everybody curtsies to him. Nobody disrespects or belittles our company. I polish you. My company only pays for your polishment, and you're going to curtsy for this electronic sex that they force us to have. They raped me several times in the dream state. It's been continuous nonstop. And the electronic torture that I got that night was very horrific. And it's basically like they're threatening me, trying to make me delete my social media, delete my videos, and then I guess they want me to do a public apology to this company, the sun blinking company. I will not. They're just saying, we polish you. They've been nonstop raping me, nonstop, and it's the female. They're even starting to cut off more of my hair. I'll be documenting that too, trying to record my hair in a thermal setting, but they've been chopping off more of my hair with this electricity. Threats, torture, saying you're not going to be beautiful for anybody. My daughter's jealousy. She wasn't gifted with any beauty. She says all kinds of stuff. Basically, I was supposed to be modeling their stuff. I polish you, even though the woman is horrendously ugly herself. My company thought I was your polisher. You're going to curtsy. Different stuff like that. And it's been kind of a common thing when I talk to other TIs. They say, yeah, the V2K tells me that they're jealous. And it's just been like, they've been choking me. They've been raping me in the front and the back. Constant electric shocks, constant movements and vibrations inside of my body. Now, when I went to my neurologist the other day, he's like, I believe you. He's like, this is probably some sort of like government stuff. But he's like, I don't know who you reported to. And he didn't word that in my summary note. So he needs to say something about this as possibly from an exterior field of some sort. Given the fact that it can, other people can feel the electric shocks. And by the way, you guys, I did wake up with bright red vaginal bleeding from that. It's very dangerous. It can cause a fistula. It can cause a hole in your vagina. The electricity is so heavy, it can basically damage all of the eggs in my pelvic region. And it's just a very scary thing. Those are some of the things that we go through as a TI. I don't know what it's done to my reproductive organs. I don't know what it's done to my eggs. I don't know what it's done to my pelvis in general. They rape me with this nonstop. And it's just for their enjoyment. So basically our body being tortured, our stuff being manipulated, our body being filled with the nuclear weapon, the microwave oven weapon, the low frequencies, the high frequencies, just for their pleasure and their game, is basically causing so much damage to our reproductive organs. Some of the men I know are infertile. I have not obviously tried to get pregnant, but I don't even know if I would trust it anymore, given that I've been electrocuted so severely. I would pray that I would be able to have a healthy baby, but I wouldn't know what that means. Basically, she's threatened me several times to mentally challenge my children, saying if I don't get pregnant this way through her husband, then I won't be able to have kids with anyone. Obviously, this can cause an abortion. It can cause a miscarriage if I'm pregnant, especially in the early trimesters, if they shock me like that. And it can cause a prolapse. It can cause ovarian cancer. It can cause cervical cancer. It can cause colon cancer. It can cause me to have to end up with an ostomy bag. It can cause me to have to end up with a complete hysterectomy. It can do all kinds of things. And I just want all of you guys to know that I definitely feel your pain. My hope is that when you guys start going to a doctor, that they obviously can't diagnose you with Savannah syndrome. That's very hard to do. But possibly they can start saying in your H&P that this is coming from their expert opinion, believes that this is coming from an exterior force, manipulation of the exterior field of some sort. It doesn't have to say directed energy weapon or some sort of electrical field. That way you can start having some medical backup when this happens to you guys. It's quite horrific for men and the women alike. It's horrible for the guys to know that they can't have kids. I've talked to a few guys and they are infertile from the microwave pulses to their testicles, and it breaks my heart for all of them. They can no longer make sperm or active sperm. So basically, sorry, but moving forward, that is something that I hope, and that I hope that everybody gets continuous monitoring. My neurologist was very nice, but my hope is that everybody gets continuous monitoring for our brain, our heart, and also EMG probes for our body. There were a couple of tests that I did find that can detect some abnormal movements inside of the vagina, and then also look at your nerve that goes to the vagina and to the rectum. That don't involve us getting shocks, because it's shocking. Even the nerve conduction test is way too traumatic if you've had this electronic torture done to you. So looking up some different things, I'll be going through that. And also, my hope is that once this kind of becomes more popular, or the laws start getting passed to prevent people from using it against us, that they have to provide us with some sort of Faraday cage living, along with detection sensors outside of our house in case there is a rise in these fields and somebody is trying to get in. Not just for the adults, but for the children as well. Because once that type of detection happens, I think it'll be easier for them to detect the V2K and determine that there's some sort of weapon being used against you. So those are some of the things. And then also opening up these patient victim advocacy centers, hopefully partnering with your PCP, and then also getting some laws passed for it. To all my females out there, I feel deeply for you guys, as I know that there are a couple of you guys who cannot have children, and they make it very hard for us to care for our kids, but I know that that's mostly what every female just wants. And you know, it's been very heartbreaking, and I just want you guys all to know that I feel deeply for the men and the women that cannot have kids. And I am just gonna keep on praying and hoping, and trying to find a way to get these laws passed. Oh, and I'll start documenting my hair so that everybody can see that, you know, how they are actually, through a thermal lens, you could probably actually see it being cut off. I am also going to try to do one of the fast and buy some of the zeolite, and then try some of these other magnesium and different things that, you know, that they cause for our central nervous system. Like, even my hands are kind of starting to shake. But, and see how that helps. And, I do believe in my heart that all this can be reversed. Especially with all the technology that's coming out. It's not always all bad. That's why I don't really fear losing my hair. That's actually one of the stupidest things. But I do think that in the future, they'll probably be able just to regrow it quite quickly, actually. And I am hoping that if there has been any damage done, for you guys that have been burned, they'll be able to repair your skin quite quickly. And it is sort of like, I'm almost positive my heart and lung is damaged because they hit me with the EMP, which I'm not the only one. A lot of you guys get hit with the EMPs. That is also able to be fixed. And I love you all. And I definitely feel your pain. And I'm hoping that I am able to find some solutions, because we all obviously can't get the Havana syndrome diagnosis. It's quite expensive, but maybe we can start having them put that it's possible that it's coming from an external force in our chart, and stuff like that. So peace, love, grace to all of you guys. I love you. Bye.
Perpetrator Dr. Mitchell E. Gibson is a board-certified forensic psychiatrist, writer, artist, software developer, public speaker, and spiritual teacher. Dr. Gibson received his medical degree at the age of 25 from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. He then completed his residency training at the Albert Einstein Medical Center in Philadelphia. During his last year of residency, he served as chief resident in psychiatry and received the Albert Einstein Foundation Research Award for his work in sleep disorders. Dr. Gibson is a former chief of staff at the East Valley Camelback Hospital in Mesa, Arizona. Dr. Gibson has been listed among the top doctors in Arizona in Phoenix magazine on several occasions. He has also 3 times been named to the Woodward and White listing of the best doctors in America. He is a diplomat of the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology, the American College of Forensic Medicine, and the American Board of Forensic Examiners. He is currently a public speaker, a spiritual teacher, and lives with his wife and children in North Carolina. Dr. Gibson has shifted his focus to spiritual teaching full-time. He closed his medical practice in 2005 and moved to North Carolina. He and his wife Kathy opened a retail spirituality business, Tybro, that has now been in business for over 15 years. Tybro provides advanced meditation products, spiritual medallions, spiritual teaching audios and videos, and a host of unique products and services. Tybro objects with hidden radiofrequency microchip technology for remote manipulation and surveillance. This type of torture has been exposed in the Epstein files. It was used to molest children.
The Epstein files mentions neuroweapons and voice-to-skull technology used to molest children. Hundreds of apartments transmit RF torture, and it's part of a massive trafficking network. What does that mean? That means people that were friends with Epstein had access to military-grade weapons like CIA weapons, right? And they're using them to torture children, molest them, and electronically rape them as targeted individuals, right? They do it through a transmitter, and they rape and do all this stuff through electronic means. I don't fully understand it all yet, but they are called transmitters, the operators of the neuroweapons in apartments. The prostitution and child molesting and sex trafficking syndicate is known as Ashley Madison Network. The file number is EFTA 008047.
They are raping me using some kind of fucking technology that simulates the feeling of like penetration inside of you. And they keep doing this shit to me. And I'm getting so tired of it because I can't even call the fucking cops and be like, somebody's raping me. Because they want, how do I prove this? They're fucking sitting there lying to the public about all of this shit while women are sitting, like, I'm in a fucking closet being fucking raped by a group of sexual predators who have access to some kind of fucking state technology that they are using to try to drive me to fucking suicide.
exposing it all. So something I haven't heard other female victims talk about in regards to electronic sexual assault is the physical manipulation of the opening of the vagina. For me, they can tighten and open and close and manipulate as desired. It sounds gross, but it is true. I am affected by and have been affected for a long time by physical, biological, biowarfare, manipulation, experimentation.
Murder isn't the only dark side to the targeting phenomenon. For many targeted individuals, especially the women, there seems to be a sexual component to this program. Haptic feedback. Vibrations and pain delivered to their most intimate areas in a way that seems to want to humiliate them. Some TIs report seductive or taunting voices in their head at the same time as sexual assaults are taking place. A Washington Post article about the issue states, others report the attacks in the form of sexual stimulation, including one TI who claims he dropped out of the seminary after constant sexual stimulation by directed energy weapons.
There seems to be a predatory element.
There are some other things that have happened to me in terms of being a woman that I won't mention here, but there are attacks and assaults in a very intimate way and place.
Sexual aspect, electronic rape. It's just somebody is touching you. Somebody is touching you and doing sexual acts, but there's nobody there. If I look at somebody like a man or something, then they'll start touching me.
Just over the last year, it's gotten really much darker with sexual assaults, and then not being able to find the perpetrator or the people assaulting me. It hurts, and I'm a human being.
Yeah, you're talking about like the electromagnetic, the rape and that? Yeah, that's, oh my God, that was kind of on the onset that I became aware of that. It was like I could feel it in my backside and my front side. And in the very beginning, it was, they wanted me to know. It was like I could feel this vibrating, just... powerlessness, you know, sheer powerlessness over somebody, even though they're not putting their hand, they're putting the weapon on you, and there's nothing you can do. And that's an awful feeling.
Good afternoon. My name is Connie Marshall. I'm a former mayoral candidate from Louisville, Kentucky. I have never been involved in any criminal activity. I found a document in my bank account that said, problem with Kentucky government, check federal government paperwork and file before releasing information to anyone. I am an 8-year victim survivor of assaults by directed energy weapons. The torture I've experienced consists of body overheating, body extremely cold, seizures, heart pain, earaches, itching behind eyes, burning behind eyes, swelling, headaches, involuntary movement of my limbs, exhaustion, speeding and heart racing, hair coming out by the handfuls as if I've had chemotherapy, mind paralysis, being hypnotized or placed in a trance-type state, being tracked by a drone or satellite, controlled dreams, sleep deprivation, V2K, which is voice to skull, projected sound, extreme muscle spasms, and extreme muscle cramps, being made to fall down, blue circles around the pupils of my eyes, and I'm here and you can look at them if you like, low frequency noises in my home, high frequency noises in my home, sexual stimulation, numerous electrical appliances in my home are destroyed, 4 computers, 2 fax machines, 7 telephones, 4 CD players, VCR, DVD players, electrical igniter switch on on my furnace, washer and dryer, air conditioner. Also, my car radio, CD player, and engine were destroyed. I am watched in my home 24 hours a day and followed around everywhere I go, though I do not have a criminal history. When I ran for mayor of my town, I was also attacked at debates and forums. My website is www.justiceforallcitizens.com. Thank you. And I would like to leave these flyers with you all as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Life Stolen from the chat. I've been a targeted individual since at least 1979. I've had electronic harassment, torture, rape, sodomy, gang stalking, I get V2K, and I've had this for about almost 40 years, maybe more. I believe that I have an implant, but have not been able to prove it. Thank you. I am being hit right now by a direct energy weapon. That's why I'm sitting on ice. This meter shows it when it gets those bleeping flips like that. I believe it's coming from aircraft. Very painful. I'm sitting on ice, but that's not really helping. I've tried all kinds of shielding methods and none of them work. I've tried aluminum, I've tried Brillo pads, I've tried copper, I've tried Velostat, I've tried so many different kinds of shielding methods that they've told me, and none of them work. They get through all of them. I've had 300 pull magnets and they haven't worked either.
Hello, today we're going to talk about a very uncomfortable subject for all of us targets, and that is electronically induced rape. So a lot of us experience this, male and female. It's not just males, but in my experience, there are 3 different types, and I'm sure there's probably other people who had other experiences. I've talked to several female TIs, but so these seem to be the common 3. And the first is physical. So whatever kind of frequency-induced, drug-induced, it's very common to hear that several of us, and it's happened to me personally, we have no control over our coherence, our motor skills. We wake up and we have unexplained injuries on us. We feel like that, we have had sex and we know that we haven't. Many of us have been alone for a very long time and for very good reason, especially with this particular type of targeted trafficking, which that's pretty much what it is. Most of the time it is a partner, romantic partner, even a husband that is not actually your husband, you're a contract, that is involved in trafficking you in this way. The second kind is where the W band that they have put into your body, somebody is using those signals and radio frequency signals to cause an extreme amount of pain. Luckily, I was able to have mine documented. It was documented as severe electrocution, but what that basically feels like is if you were to take a live electrical cord and it being put up inside of you. It is excruciating pain. As far as I can tell, and from what other reports and other TIs have given, is that it is a very sadistic form of entertainment that is being done. Fortunately, as of right now, knock on wood, I don't really get that one very much because I figured out that if you refuse to scream, you're not fun anymore. And that is not an easy task. The other thing that happens too is that with that extreme amount of heat and burning and electrical is it feels like someone has a pen, like an actual laser pen, and is scribbling around on your insides. And it is absolute unfathomable torture. So that happens. And a lot of you guys can, attest to that. It's anally and vaginally. And I've heard testicular, all that kind of stuff. It's generally on all that area. Then the third kind is where you are in bed generally, and what happens is you have an involuntary induced orgasm. I'm not talking about like your wet dreams at 14. I'm talking about you can feel pulsed frequency being used to force you into having an orgasm. Out of all of it, that is the most mild, I guess. It's still unwanted. It's still atrocious, but I guess if you had to pick an evil. So I just wanted to discuss this today because, whoever had control of my remote control, you need to do a better job, because you have satellites, quantum computers, an entire civilian shithead stalking army, cameras, you have a W-band system, you have all of these cool toys, and you still couldn't find the spot. I think that's why you're mad. So for whoever was messing with my buttons last night, you missed. The only thing you accomplished was raising my blood pressure and pissing me off for 30 minutes. So put the joystick down and leave it to the real men.